Hey, how's it going, everyone? Welcome back. I know it's been a while. Hope you're doing well. I got some really exciting news to talk about, so why not do a video about it? On June 7, 2022, director Todd Phillips drops this picture on his Instagram page, confirming that the next Joker movie is in the works. Titled Joker Folie A Deux, this sequel once again hints at the movie's psychological direction. Folie A Deux, according to the Indian Journal of Psychiatry, includes several syndromes in which mental symptoms, particularly paranoid delusions, are transmitted from one person, known as the principal or the instigator, to one or more people, known as the associate, with whom the apparent instigator is in some way intimately associated, so that he or she and they come to share the same delusional ideas. Folie A Deux is also called shared psychotic disorder, and I've also heard it called induced delusional disorder. Now, I'm not really going to go into the nuts and bolts, the nitty-gritty of Folie A Deux. Dr. Todd Grande actually has a great video explaining what Folie A Deux is, what it's about, signs and symptoms, all of those things. So if you want to dive in, learn more about it, I will link his channel and that video in the description below. Please take a look at it because it's some really good stuff. He's a doctor, so he knows this stuff. So check that out when you guys have time. But I want to segue from science to the silver screen because I am a nerd and you know where I'm going with this. So Folie A Deux takes at least two to tango, and we know who the Joker's partner in crime is. The one, the only Harley Quinn. So could we see Harley Quinn in this movie? Upon face value, we don't know, right? The picture that director Todd Phillips put up on his Instagram didn't really explain much outside of the title, and we really don't know the direction that this movie is going to go. But I know what you're thinking. If Harley Quinn is introduced in this movie, how does she fit? If the title is hinting at a shared delusional disorder, a shared psychotic disorder, takes two to tango, as I said earlier, does Harley Quinn fit the bill? Yeah. So if we go back to the first time Harley Quinn was introduced, she was introduced in the Batman the Animated Series TV show. I used to watch it as a kid growing up. It was great. Harley Quinn, or Dr. Harleen Quinzel, was a doctor. She was a psychiatrist. And she came to Arkham Asylum because she wanted to treat these criminals who have mental disorders. She found it more fun, more impactful. She believed that she found a home working with this patient population. However, she ends up getting manipulated by the Joker and starts falling for him, actually falling in love with him, and sharing her feelings with him and doing a lot of stuff that we as medical professionals cannot do. She ended up crossing a professional boundary that you cannot do due to the safety for yourself, safety for the patient, and also big time conflict of interest. Harley Quinn was manipulated by the Joker when she was treating him. This places Harley in the imposed psychosis group. So go back to Dr. Grande's video. He talks about the 4 different types of Folie A Deux. Harley Quinn, I believe, falls into this imposed psychosis group where the Joker was able to impose his delusions upon her, with the only caveat being that Harley Quinn was sane before she met the Joker. And I believe that she was, because she is a medical professional, she is a doctor, she is a psychiatrist, very smart, has never met the Joker before. Prior to that, I don't remember seeing, reading, or hearing anything that she had a mental illness prior to meeting the Joker as far as the Batman the Animated Series is concerned. But I may have to look back at the videos again just to make sure, but for right now I'm going to put her in that imposed group. So I believe that Harley Quinn does fit the bill for Folie A Deux if director Todd Phillips goes in this direction. But if it turns out that Harley Quinn falls into a vat of chemicals, then I'm going to be sorely disappointed. And I don't think that that's going to happen because Arthur Fleck in the first Joker movie, he we realize that, he does have a mental illness with a very strong genetic link to his mom, who has narcissistic personality disorder. All right, so since genetics play such a big role, they went the more genetic way. We know that genetics affects a lot of things, not just mental illnesses. So they're keeping it more organic in that sense. So why not have Harley Quinn go through the more organic route instead of falling to a vat of chemicals and then all of a sudden her mindset, her personality changes, right? Overall, I am extremely excited about this movie. I cannot wait to watch it. I loved the first movie. I appreciated how mental illness was portrayed in the movie, how society didn't really understand it based off the setting of the movie. And the budget cuts to the social worker program, so Arthur Fleck couldn't get his medications, he couldn't go to therapy anymore. Very similar to what patients nowadays go through due to cuts and people not being able to help them and things shutting down. So I rate the movie 5 out of 10. 10 out of 10 as far as movie standards goes. This is a blockbuster hit. It deserves every single type of movie award coming its way, from the director to the screenwriters, the music, the actors themselves. 10 out of 10. 0 out of 10 because it reminds me of work. And I do not want to go to a movie and relax and have to think about work. There was this particular scene towards the beginning of the movie where Arthur Fleck was talking to a social worker. He needed his medications, and they somewhat briefly talk about the medications. We actually see him take the medications at home, but I have no idea what those medications were, and it bugged me the entire time. So 0 out of 10, you average it out, it's 5 out of 10. But in all seriousness, in reality, if you think about it, it's a 10 out of 10, which 100% it falls in that S tier, A tier, whatever you want to do. 10 out of 10, all right? I've actually used this movie towards the end of my class as a way for, the students to kind of wind down after 10 long weeks of having to learn and having to put up with me and all the other classes that they're taking. And also because they've learned so much throughout the 10 weeks, watching this movie, being able to put everything that they learned and everything that they saw from their clinicals, from their classes or textbooks together, and I actually have them diagnose the Joker and try to figure out what those medications are and what other services, procedures, treatments that they can do to help Arthur Fleck out. So it's a really good way, for the students to wind down, but also to kind of think a little bit, because I don't want them to lose, the knowledge that they've learned throughout 10 weeks of hard work that they've put in a lot of effort to work towards. So I cannot wait for when this movie comes out. I'm definitely gonna watch it. There is no release date yet. We don't know who the other actors are except for Joaquin Phoenix, obviously. They haven't started filming, but the ball is rolling. So I hope you guys are excited for this movie the way that I am. And hopefully when that movie does come out, I'll probably do a little review about it, talk a little bit about it. But if there are no comments, questions, concerns, or complaints that can be expressed in a therapeutically communicative manner, see, it's been a while since I've done these videos. I'll see you guys next time. If you do have any comments, questions, concerns, or complaints, comment section is down below. Do not forget to watch Dr. Grande's video about Folie A Deux to educate yourself a little bit more about it. He's a really, really good teacher. So check that out when you have a chance. Until then, guys, have a good one. I'll see you next time. Peace.